your Africa News update. Africa-wide, Ghanaian president slams the West over low funding for climate change. Ghana's president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has criticized Western nations for their low financial commitment to addressing issues caused by climate change on the continent. Addo stated that $55 million for 54 countries was far from fair. Akufo-Addo mentioned the commitment made in the climate summit in Rotterdam last September, which included $23 million from the UK, $15 million from Norway, $10 million from France, and $7 million from Denmark. He added that the Adaptation Summit had a mission to raise $25 billion by 2025, which was ridiculous due to the fact that G20 countries are responsible for 80% of emissions, stating that Africa left Rotterdam with a commitment of up to $55 million. The Rotterdam Summit is set up to discuss climate change funding for Africa and comes ahead of the 27th Annual Summit of the United Nations Conference on Climate Change to be held in November in Egypt. It also comes after warning from the UN Climate Science Panel that extreme weather and sea level rise are affecting faster than expected, prompting calls for more money and political will to help people adapt. Western countries say they will spend about $25 billion by 2025 to boost Africa's adaptation effort to climate change. For years, African leaders have said the continent is paying a heavy price by cutting fossil fuel use despite its low emissions compared to the rest of the world. In June, just weeks after the G7 pledged to end public funding of foreign fossil fuel projects by the end of 2022, Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum said the continent was under sanctions. Africa emits only 2 to 3% of the world's carbon emission, despite being home to almost 17% of the world's population. It has experienced a temperature increase of about 0.7 degrees Celsius over much of the continent, and with predictions that temperatures will rise further, Africa is facing a range of climate change impacts, including increased droughts and floods, according to a United Nations report. It is estimated that Africa will need between $1.3 and $1.6 trillion this decade to implement its commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement, an annual cost of between $140 and $300 billion. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, share, and like our video. It's the best way of supporting us. And remember, Africa is watching.